This episode of the Recovery Couch is brought to you by Greg Swartz at Remax Victory and Affiliates. Whether you're buying or selling your home, Greg brings heart, hustle, and honesty to every deal. Call Greg at 937-477-8975 today. Welcome back to the Recovery Couch. I'm your host, Brandon Couch, and today's episode is about your calling. Not your career, not your job title, but what you're called to do. Because the truth is, you weren't rescued from your past. You weren't rescued from your addiction just to live a quiet or a safe life. You were called to lead. In some capacity, you're being called to lead. Whether it's leading a multitude of people or whether it's leading one or two people in your home, you're called to lead. So I call this episode From Addiction to Ambassador. Paul tells us in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20, we are therefore Christ's ambassadors, as though God were making his appeal through us. You hear that? If you're walking in recovery, you're not just a survivor, you're a representative. You carry hope. You carry truth. You carry evidence that freedom is possible. People are watching you, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. And me, personally, I like real more than I like perfect. And real leadership and recovery starts with authenticity. Leadership isn't about standing on a stage or having all the answers. It's about showing up. It's about staying sober one more day and helping someone else do the same. It's about sharing your story, setting the tone, and living in the light instead of the dark. You don't need a ministry title. You don't need a microphone. You just need willingness. Willingness to love, willingness to serve, and a willingness to lead. So ask yourself, who might be looking up to me without me even realizing it? What have I overcome that could give someone else strength? Where is God calling me to show up and speak up? If you're like me, you've been through the fire. But now you get to walk other people through the smoke. So don't downplay your journey, even if it's dark and twisted. Don't shrink back into false humility. You are called, you were chosen, and you are capable. This is the Recovery Couch. I'm Brandon Couch, the host, and you're not just in recovery. You're on a mission. So keep leading with love and keep coming back because you're worth it. This episode of the Recovery Couch is brought to you by J.B. Davis at Performance Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. For integrity, service, and unbeatable deals, ask for J.B. in Centerville and tell them the Recovery Couch sent you.